Imagine during this correction that we're having right now if Bitcoin dropped $43,400. Do you know that that would be around just over $80,000, and that would be completely normal? Why do I say that? Why am I just like some psychopath that doesn't care about the price of Bitcoin? No, it's because usually the price drops during bull markets on average about 35%. Last bull market that we had a 55% drop. And then we proceeded to go to $69,000 all-time highs. So I wrote on Twitter today, check me out, Sir Crypto Tips, Bitcoin at $108,900, which is exactly when I woke up this morning, is down 12% from all-time highs. A typical bull market correction is 35%. So here's the thing. What is happening right now is completely normal. There's nothing to panic about. If it goes down 40%, it doesn't even matter. Even if it goes down 55%, it does not matter. We are still in a bull market, just like what happened last bull market, okay? And I've got some great news for you. If you guys are like panicked right now, look at some good news here. We are down $170 billion wiped from the cryptocurrency market over the last 24 hours. And why does that excite me? It's because first off, if you came in late during this bull market, now could be a great time to start dollar cost averaging, because, lower prices should attract you. Most people are attracted to higher prices. That is why we get calls from our families and friends when Bitcoin is reaching all-time highs, because it legitimizes things when Bitcoin is at all-time highs. Okay, so now there's $100 million worth of ETH longs liquidated within a 60-minute period. So what's happening right here? Once again, it's gamblers. These are over-leveraged gamblers, people with problems, probably psychological problems, probably bad marriages or whatever, and they get into this stuff, they get into way too much debt, and then they screw themselves, they screw their family, and then they divorce and all this other stuff. So it's a whole big line of, it's a downward spiral in life. These are the type of people that happens to, but not us, because we're more responsible than this. Okay, so now let's go over this. Many whales are accumulating ETH. Yes, big, smart money is accumulating ETH, and the dumb money, financially uneducated people and over-leveraged gamblers are losing their butts. But here you go. In the past 6 hours, 10 wallets have received 210,452 ETH. That's $862.85 million from Kraken, Galaxy Digital, OTC, BitGo, and Falcon X. Look at this, straight from the horse's mouth. There's a lot of smart people buying this up. Why? Because they know that ETH bottomed most likely around $1,500 not too long, a couple months ago, and then proceeded to go to $4,800 into all-time highs, almost in a straight line. So people are panicking on ETH, don't realize that nothing goes up in a straight line forever, okay? Pullbacks are completely normal. And if the less leveraged people out there, over leveraged people out there, it's fine to go 1 to 2x whatever leverage. But going 10x, 20, I guess is stupid, okay? Now, let's go over this. Ethereum supply on exchanges hit a 9-year low of 14.8 million ETH. Check this chart out. This is from Glassnode. Absolutely, this is very bullish in my opinion. As I said many times before, I think when we bottomed at $1,500 ETH, that was the start of alt season. Now you may think, oh, you're crazy, like my alt didn't do good. Well, think about it this way. There's like how many, I don't even know how many alts are out there. Most of this crap out there is worthless. Like 99% of projects out there are garbage, vaporware, not even worth putting anything into, okay? But regardless, I digress. Here's CR1337 saying this about SBF's quote yesterday when he said good morning to everybody. Since SBF's post yesterday, I've been reading lots of disturbing things. This is really important because this is what's gonna make the next bear market that's coming so incredibly bad. You think the last bull market was bad? Oh, you have not seen anything yet. Okay, people who are forgiving him, people say that FTX would have been all right now years later. Some of you are really, really mentally challenged or have no moral compass whatsoever. Okay, you know, who knows what their intentions are on this, but this guy is a fraud, was lying through his teeth, billions of dollars in damages, and several people committed suicide in the aftermath because they lost their life savings, many, and that's never worth it, guys. Like, I don't care how much you lose, not worth your life, okay? So many others suffer mental health crisis, panic attacks, depression, all this stuff. SBF is where he belongs, behind bars, yes, but most people have the memory of a goldfish and they forget that, yeah, this is totally fine. Okay, I don't care anymore. And then they're going to lend their coins out to other platforms, or they're going to invest in other things that are way too risky, and they're going to get slammed way harder the next time. Okay, so now we also have the odds of a rate cut have jumped to 94%. Yes, there's probably going to be a rate cut next month. And what does that mean? It means that the US dollar is going to have more pressure on it, which means it's going to put upward pressure for Bitcoin. Why is that? Because the US dollar is going to be devalued big time, not just the currency printing, but also rate cuts, okay? It's just a lose-lose situation for anybody that doesn't own Bitcoin or inflation hedges. I'm gonna keep teaching people about this because I think it's one of the most important things financially that people can understand and learn from, because that's what's going to save them in the future financially. Now here's from Don Alt. US dollar is down almost 15% since the beginning of the year. We denominate in USD, so if your coin isn't up 16% this year, you're actually down. Such a scam. That's such a good tweet. The guy gets it, all right? He understands inflation is number one. It's not any other issue out there, okay? Everything stems from inflation, because you know what, if you're poor, you're going to be miserable, especially if you're going to have to rely on universal basic income, and they're just going to print and print and print more and more currency. That's the whole point of the Federal Reserve. This is what they are salivating right now. The fact that they're going to create so much inflation that most people are going to be subject to universal basic income through stable coins, CBDCs. Boy, that is a genius act right there. Okay, so now we also have, since 2000, average rent has increased 139.4% compared to 112.3% for median full-time wages, meaning the growth in rents has outpaced wage growth by roughly 24.1%. Now, if you haven't gotten a 24% raise just to keep up with rents, like most people definitely haven't, okay? That just shows you know where this is going, guys. This isn't going to be a mystery, all right? We all know where this is heading. This is heading for absolute economic disaster. And if you don't realize that by now, with all the facts that I've been presenting for months and months on end now, then I can't help you. All right. So now we also have Cass Freight Index falling to the lowest level since the financial crisis. The U.S. freight shipments are collapsing right now. Why is that? Because of tariffs, guys. I've told you time and time again, this is what is going to happen. The U.S. consumer is going to be punished big time for this. It's not going to be other people making things, because they're just going to raise their prices, right? It's basic economics 101. You don't have to listen to people on crypto Twitter on their spaces talking for hours on end on what they think is going to happen with the tariffs, right? It's not that complicated. You raise the tariffs, it's going to hurt regular people, okay? Because they're going to take the brunt of that price increase. And now they're taking the brunt of manufacturing essentially collapsing and shipments collapsing as well. Boy, that is such a mess. Now, why do I bring this up? It's because all this is putting pressure on the US dollar. This is like death from 1,000 cuts, okay? It's not just one thing that's going to bring down the US empire. It's going to be many, many, many different things, just as I've been talking about time and time again. And I'm going to continue it because it's one of my passions. I love learning about this. I love understanding what the root causes of economic collapses are. You know, that's why I've studied Rome. I understand exactly what happened there. I understand what is happening here right now, especially globally. There's a lot of countries that are going to be in a lot of pain, and I'm here to show you all exactly how to avoid that. Anyways, if you do want to check this out at learningcrypto.com, I mean, it's up to you, because if you want to learn like exactly what Bitcoin is created for, if you want to understand where we stand with Bitcoin and when we're going to be taking profits and buying back to the bear market, if you're into that stuff, which I think you should, check out learningcrypto.com. I'll talk to you soon.